You are listening to a one-on-one with Mitch Lafon interview teaser. I recently sat down with Vinny Appice, famed drummer for Dio, Heaven and Hell, and Black Sabbath. We talked about his new project, Last in Line, featuring deaf Leppard guitarist Vivian, Campbell, and bassist Jimmy Bain. Of course, part of the infamous Holy Diver Dio era lineup. We spoke, of course, about the new album, which is called Heavy Crown, but we also went back to the time where he was with Black Sabbath and recording Mob Rules. And so I present to you a quick excerpt of my full interview with Vinny Appice. This is him simply talking about Black Sabbath and Mob Rules. Just quickly, since we mentioned Mob Rules, when you got the gig and you got to record with Sabbath in the studio, do you remember that moment? Did that still stand out as like, oh wow, I'm going with the Sabbath guys? This kind of cool.
Because when I first joined the band, I was a kid. I was like 23 years old. I brought my drums down to audition with them in Los Angeles, and my '67 Mustang that needed a lot of work, and the drums were in the car. They fit in the car. So it started out from there, and then got in the band, and it was always, well, you're in the band until or unless Bill Ward comes back, because they expected him to come back. I mean, this was his baby, So the tour went on and on and on, and then Bill wasn't coming back, and then it became a point at on the tour in England where Warner Brothers called up and asked the band if they wanted to do a song for the heavy metal movie that was coming out. So they wanted to do it. So we had a couple of days off. So we went into John Lennon's house, which was owned by Ringo at this point. So we went in there and wrote the Mob Rules in this big English mansion, put the drums in the hallway with all this big wooden staircase. I mean, it was just amazing. And we recorded there, and it was like, wow, I'm recording with these guys, you know?
Exactly, right?
And, it was like, I guess Bill's not coming back. I'm on this record, but, you never know. So that was the first recording with them, and then we went on, finished the tour. Bill never came back, and it was like, okay, we're going to do an album. We're going to start rehearsing in 2 months. So it was like, yeah, cool, And then, but I wasn't like overwhelmed with it. I wasn't in there like a fan. I was up, just being a pro and going in that situation like, okay, let's make a great record. Whatever I can do, whatever you guys want, I'm there. It was more of a professional level than any sort of
of course,
live thing. Yeah. And then we got along great. I love those guys. Tony. So me and Tony are kind of the same. We're always fooling around and joking around. And I love Keys and of course Ronnie. So it was a great time. Great band.
If I can just ask you this. At that time, were you going in there as like a ghost musician and you were just going to lay the drums and then they thought Bill would come back and they would put his name on the album? Or did you know that, okay, this is my baby and my name's going on those liner notes?
No, I knew it was me because Bill didn't come back, and then they said, okay, we're going to rehearse. So we started rehearsing. We put all those songs. That's when all those songs were created and written. They weren't written before. They were written on the spot.
Okay. So there was no...
Tony had stuff, Keys had stuff, Ronnie had stuff. Everything came together at those rehearsals. We recorded. And then there was no mention of Bill. And I didn't even think about it. I just thought, okay, we're doing it. So I never thought of Bill coming back at that point.
Okay, fair enough. And between Holy Diver and Mob Rules, which one's your favorite?
Holy Diver.
There you go. There you go. For more of my interview with Vinny Appice, drummer for Dio, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, and more, head over to my YouTube page, or hey, just look up on the screen. I have this, going to have it linked in the annotation and the show notes. For more me, head over to Twitter at Mitch Lafon, on Facebook at Mitch Lafon as well, or one-on-one Mitch Lafon. Please check out the One-on-One with Mitch Lafon podcast, which is available on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and many, many more. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this little teaser clip. And hey, we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.